Hey everyone, this is Luke again, and welcome back to my 10-year project. Now, we're in the top 3. We're almost there. Um, we're almost there. We have 3 more reasons as to why I think Ninjago is so good, and these are the 3 most important ones. These 3, without these, Ninjago would probably not even happen. And here is number 3. The characters. Of course, I had to put the characters somewhere on this list. Um, because more people, I think, say the characters are more important than the story, which I disagree with. I think the story is more important, but more people do say the characters are more important to the overall TV show than the actual story is. Um, so we'll discuss the ninjas characters and how they've changed over time. Jay's character hasn't really changed all that much. Basically that all that basically changed was that he he basically got Nia as a girlfriend, and he can prove that he can save the world all by himself, but his character hasn't really changed all that much. And to be honest, it is kind of saddening that his characters remain mostly the same in the last 10 years. Kind of upsetting, if you ask me. And the same thing kind of goes with Nia. She became Samurai Axe for a while, and then she became a good helper on the team, and then she became the Water Ninja. Um, and then nothing really major happened after she became the Water Ninja, other than the yin yang thing with Jay, which that wasn't even like marriage. That was more like engagement, if you ask me. But uh again, Nia has kind of remained the same over the course of these 10 years, but with these next 4 ninja, they've actually changed quite a lot. Starting with Cole. Cole used to be the leader of the team, and even though Lloyd overtook his position, he still remained an integral part of the team, showcasing his strength, his power, his aggression, and his heart. And while he did not receive a huge amount of development until season 13, what we got with season 13 was actually very good for his development. We got more into the history of his parentage and why Lou is the only remaining parent, because his mother had unfortunately passed away from an illness. And it does suck that in reality his voice actor has also passed. Um, and it was right before the 10-year anniversary. But I will always appreciate what Cole as a character gave to us. And even though he's probably going to get another voice actor sometime in 2022, I will appreciate what Kirby Morrow did to the character. And I really will always miss Kirby's version of Cole. Now we move on to Kai. Kai at first was the overall hothead of the group. He used to have such a big ego. He was super arrogant and all that. He believed himself to be the best. But once he realized there was more important things than being the best, he kind of lost that over time. Yes, he was still hot-headed. He still had his jealousy of not becoming the Green Ninja. And he still has his fiery rage. Kai versus Ray being a huge example of that. But I do think that, yes, he kind of lost his hot-headedness over time, but does that make him a different character? No. And that's what most fans nowadays fail to understand. Just because he lost an important part of his old self doesn't make him a different character. It may make him look like one, but he actually isn't a different character. I do like this new Kai. Do I think he's better than the old Kai? No, no. But I think new Kai is still likable enough for me. And yeah, there hasn't been much ever since season 7. Um, but hopefully the later seasons could do something with Kai's character. And now we move on to Lloyd, or Lloyd. I had to say that. Basically, he started out as pretty much a little brat, a little shit, even. Basically just causing ruckus. And then all of a sudden he became the Green Ninja. Oh my god! Nobody suspected this guy, out of all people, would be the Green Ninja. And then he slowly but surely worked up to his Green Ninja mantle, especially in turning himself older as a result of the Tomorrow's Tea in the Child's Play episode. Then he had to push his inner struggle of facing his own father, who he still loved, to the side. And once the Overlord corrupted him, all bets were off, essentially. And he rose, and he defeated the Overlord and saved Ninjago. And once he had golden power, he was eventually drained from it, but that didn't stop him. And overall, while he wasn't the one to defeat the Overlord the second time, he definitely did play a huge role in the season. Yeah, with season 4, he had to witness his own father being sacrificed to the cursed realm, which is very hard on him, because he loves his dad, and he just witnessed him going back to the good side, and then all of a sudden just to not see him again, it's just heartbreaking, man. And season 5, he was just possessed for most of the season, and pretty much kind of not really worth talking about. And the same thing with season 6, he didn't really do that much other than become old Lloyd. Blech. Yeah, in season 7, after Master Wu was, rapidly aging, he decided to take up the role as temporary Master Lloyd in training, and it didn't really quite work. I mean, it is understandable that he would have a tough time leadershiping, and while I don't think this Lloyd is a bad version of Lloyd, it definitely is one of the weaker versions of him. And then in season 8, he fully accepted the role of him being Master Lloyd, and he was really good until we met this one girl named Harumi. It kind of reminded me of that old biblical tale, Samson and Delilah. That's it. If you don't remember that biblical tale, Samson and Delilah, Samson was this big, strong guy, and the secret to his strength was his hair. And Delilah got his hair, convinced him to get his hair cut off, and then he was powerless. I could say the same thing here, where he was so focused, he was so strong, until he met Harumi, who deceived her way into his world, kissed him even, and then ultimately stabbed him in the back, and basically broke his heart. And ultimately, he had to face his own father again, and this time he got his ass whooped and nearly died as a result, which resulted him coming up with an entire resistance try and fight against his own father, which he ended up being successful doing. That resistance, part of it was with some of the elemental masters, by the way. Then in season 10, he had to stop the Oni invasion. The Oni invasion from taking over all 16 or 17 realms. There will be a future video discussing 16 versus 17 realms. Then he kind of, I don't know if he died as a result, but he went to this realm of the first Benjitsu Master, which is supposedly like heaven. So the first Benjitsu Master, his grandfather, gave him a choice of accepting godhood or coming back with his friends. While I do think, as a writing standard, this was the incorrect decision, I will accept it. He chose to come back with his friends and become the Green Ninja once again. And then in season 11, he didn't really do overall that much. He just became known as a spotlight stealer to a lot of fans. He meets this girl named Akita, and they tried to save Zane. And he successfully saved Zane. well, not in the way that you would imagine. And then seasons 12 and 13, he wasn't really given a huge role as a result of the quote-unquote Lloyd problem. So, yeah, the Lloyd problem has definitely become, they've handled it. They actually acknowledged that there was a Lloyd problem, and they were like, yeah, let's not focus on him for a little bit. Now we go to Zane, who I think is the best developed ninja out of all of them. I mean, come on. He was an outcast at first, and then he revealed the most shocking plot twist in the entire show that he was a robot. Dun dun dun! Nobody expected that to happen, not even his own friends. But they still accepted him for who he was, and became a lot stronger as a result. While he didn't really have anything else huge happen to him in season 1, in season 2, he found his own father again, who he thought to have passed away a long time ago. And then it was revealed that, he was revived by boneheaded samurai to make vehicles for him, blah, 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 blah. And then, in season 3, he died. He legit died. Died fighting to save the world, which is the true definition of a hero. And season 4, he was revealed to be alive this entire time, just in a new form, and he has a completely new arc, basically identity crisis, PTSD, and he doesn't know who he is anymore. And he always says that he wasn't the white ninja and that I'm just a replica of him. And then he disregards the white ninja identity and turned into the titanium ninja, which is now what he is called now. Then in season 5, he doesn't really do much. After season 4, a lot of fans don't think he really had any huge development, which I somewhat agree with. Season 5, all that really happened to him was his voice was just messed up for a few episodes. And for Cole, I forgot he turned into a ghost for a long time. He turned into a ghost for seasons 5 through Day of the Departed. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. Sorry. Let me get my train of thought back. Then we go over to season 6. Again, Zane didn't do much. Same thing with season 7. He didn't really do much other than, just be offline for 2 episodes for some reason. But then in season 8, he kind of did a little bit more as he became Snake Jaguar, his SOG identity, and ended up nearly dying as a result of being nearly beaten to death by Mr. E, who is supposed to be Echo Zane, his own brother. But according to the Hagmans, they decided to discount it because they would have to reintroduce Skybound all over again, which they could have easily done off screen. But I digress. Season 9, again, he doesn't really do much. And season 10, he barely even spoke words in there. Season 11, he basically sacrifices himself again to save Master Wu, and pretty much becomes a villain as a result, the Ice Emperor. And basically, he's back to normal at the end of the season, and then season 12, he becomes a detective. Yeah, he becomes Detective Zane. Yeah, where he talks a lot like this, And then season 13, he had a funny running gag of constantly throwing rocks at Kai, which I thought was pretty hilarious. But I do agree somewhat that he had not a huge amount of development ever since season 4. Yeah, but he still got development in the form of something else. It didn't really develop his character, but it was still development nonetheless. Now, these are the 6 ninja. Of course, there are many more characters that I could have done in this video. I could have done Wu, I could have done Garmadon, I could have done Misako, I could have done a lot of them. But I decided to stick with the 6 original ninja since that's who we are, since that's what the 10th anniversary is based on. At least in my opinion, it's based on those ninja. It's not based on Wu or Garmadon. It's based on the ninja. Hence, why the show's called Ninjago and not Wu Jago or Garmadon Jago. But what do you guys think? Do you think that the characters have improved over time, gotten worse over time, or have they stayed the same? Kind of like Jay and Nia. How do you view these characters? What do you like about them? And how much are they important to you? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel by clicking on the red subscribe button, and click on the notification bell to see every video that I will upload. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for reason number 2 of why Ninjago is just that good. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.